Tonight, beloved soul, we step into the quiet of infinite possibility. As you prepare to rest, the outer world grows still, and the inner world opens like a golden door. You are now entering the sacred silence where every true word spoken becomes flesh, where every divine idea becomes form. The unseen becomes seen. The invisible supply takes visible shape. This is the law of life, immutable and sure. Close your eyes and feel the breath of spirit upon your heart. The great unseen power is not far off, it is within you, around you, and flowing through you. Every word you think, every image you hold, is a seed planted in the fertile garden of the infinite. Tonight, as you drift toward sleep, you plant seeds of overflow, abundance, and divine wealth. Say quietly within yourself, all that is mine by divine right now comes to me with speed and ease. All channels are open. All doors swing wide. Let these words echo. For the words you impress upon your subconscious in this state are carried like living messengers into your tomorrow. As you sleep, your inner mind receives, accepts, and begins to arrange people, places, and circumstances in perfect order for your good. Feel the truth of these statements. Infinite supply is always present. The universe does not know lack. The divine knows no limitation. Money, love, success, opportunities, health, all are manifestations of one spiritual substance, infinite and inexhaustible. You are not trying to make wealth come to you. You are aligning with the wealth that already is. Release every memory of fear. Release every imprint of debt or struggle. In this sacred moment, forgive and let go. Say, every appearance of lack dissolves now. Every false belief is cast into the nothingness from which it came. Only the divine power acts in my life. Only good comes to me. Only good flows from me. Visualize yourself standing in a radiant circle of light. See gold and violet light swirling around you, like streams of living abundance. This is the substance of spirit taking form. See rivers of money flowing easily to you. See opportunities appearing at the perfect time. See relationships harmonizing, doors opening, paths clearing. The same intelligence that guides the planets guides your affairs. The same power that made the stars makes your way prosperous. As you breathe, feel that you are breathing the breath of new life. With every inhale you receive. With every exhale you release. There is no grasping, no forcing, no worrying, only knowing. Knowing that divine mind is the source and the supplier. Knowing that what you seek is already seeking you. Knowing that the power that started creation finishes it in perfection. Let your mind drift gently now, floating on words of truth. Repeat inwardly, slowly, lovingly. I am a perfect channel for divine supply. I give freely. I receive richly. I am fearless in the face of appearances. I stand on the solid rock of truth. Feel how each affirmation softens the old thought patterns. Feel how the resistance loosens its grip. Feel how easy it is to imagine yourself already there. In the home you desire, with the income you desire, with the freedom and peace you desire. As you hold this image, remember, imagination is not idle. Imagination is the workshop of the infinite. What you see inwardly must appear outwardly when you do not resist. Tonight as you sleep, angels of ideas and intuition minister to you. They whisper solutions. They rearrange circumstances. They awaken new streams of income, new connections, new revelations. Even now, things are being prepared for your highest good. Even now, unseen help is moving on your behalf. You are free from fear. You are free from worry. You are free from debt. You are free from limitation. You are the heir to divine riches. You are the steward of unlimited wealth. You are guided, protected, and prospered in all you do. You are in perfect alignment with infinite intelligence. As you drift further into sleep, these words become your living truth. The substance of spirit moves swiftly. The supply appears. The channels open. The right people appear. The perfect timing unfolds. The perfect actions come to mind. Your subconscious mind works ceaselessly to bring forth your good. Feel a deep gratitude now. Gratitude is the magnet that draws greater good. Thank the unseen forces. Thank the inner spirit. Thank the divine source that never fails. Thank the unfolding path even before you see it. Gratitude clears the channels and multiplies the flow. Rest now in the assurance that you cannot miss your good. Nothing and no one can stand between you and your divine inheritance. No delay, no obstruction, no mistake can cancel the divine plan for your prosperity. As you affirm, so it becomes. As you believe, so it is established. As you sleep, so you rise into a world transformed. To align your thoughts with divine supply is to step into the invisible current of abundance that surrounds you at every moment of your life. This alignment is not forced or demanded. It is accepted and allowed. Every thought you hold is like a tuning fork, sending out a vibration that matches and calls forth its equal. When your mind is attuned to the limitless supply of the universe, you naturally draw to yourself the experiences, ideas, and opportunities that reflect this supply. The first step in this alignment is recognition, the conscious knowing that you are surrounded by an infinite and inexhaustible source. This source is not limited by time, circumstance, or condition. It flows constantly like a river of gold, like sunlight pouring over a meadow, and it seeks only to express itself through you. In every breath, in every moment, you have the power to choose a thought that aligns with this truth. When you choose thoughts of sufficiency, gratitude, and faith, you activate the spiritual law that draws provision, guidance, and prosperity. You do not beg the universe to give you anything. You accept the abundance that is already yours by divine right. As you begin to shift your mental focus from lack to supply, you change the entire landscape of your inner world. You no longer entertain images of scarcity, limitation, or fear. You no longer rehearse stories of not enough, but instead you affirm the presence of more than enough in every area of your life. This mental habit creates a new pattern in your subconscious, which is the creative medium of your experience. The subconscious does not argue or judge. It simply accepts what is repeatedly impressed upon it, and brings it forth as form and circumstance. By aligning your thoughts with divine supply, you are impressing abundance onto the deepest layer of your consciousness. You are telling the unseen forces exactly what to arrange and what to attract into your outer life. This is not mere positive thinking but spiritual law in action. The law responds to faith, to clarity, and to repetition. The more you hold to these thoughts, the more powerful their manifestation becomes. Every time you align your mind with divine supply, you dissolve the false belief that you are separate from your source. Separation is an illusion, unity is the truth. Divine supply is not something outside of you, waiting to enter. It is within you, seeking expression. The money, the opportunities, the relationships, and the ideas you desire are all channels of expression, but the substance behind them is spiritual. When you understand this, you stop worrying about channels and start focusing on the source. Channels may change, they may open or close, but the source remains constant, infinite, and unfailing. In this realization, fear vanishes because you know that even if one door closes, another must open, for your supply cannot be cut off. This awareness creates calm, confidence, and a quiet expectancy that draws good to you like a magnet. In practical terms, aligning your thoughts with divine supply means practicing daily moments of stillness and affirmation. It means watching yourself, talk, and gently guiding it back to truth whenever it wanders into fear or lack. It means blessing every bill, every obligation, and every person in your life with the thought of abundance, knowing that everything you give multiplies and returns. It means ceasing to speak words of poverty or complaint and choosing instead words of increase, expansion, and gratitude. Over time, these practices become second nature, and you find that your outer life begins to mirror your inner change. Money arrives at unexpected times. Opportunities seem to fall into your lap. People show up with exactly what you need. All of this is the natural outworking of a consciousness aligned with divine supply. The power of imagination also plays a vital role in this alignment. When you vividly picture yourself, already in possession of the good you desire, you create a mold in your consciousness for substance to fill. This mold acts like a magnetic pattern, attracting to you the resources, people, and events needed to make your vision real. By seeing yourself living in abundance, walking in confidence, and receiving with ease, you align your subconscious with the vibration of plenty. The subconscious then goes to work while you sleep, arranging the unseen matrix of life to deliver your good at the right time. This process is effortless once you understand it. You are not pushing or striving, but simply holding your vision with calm assurance. The universe delights in filling the molds you provide. It rushes to supply every clear and definite demand. As you deepen your connection to divine supply, you may notice old patterns of thought rising to the surface. Fears about money, guilt about wanting more, memories of lack or struggle may appear. This is natural and not a sign of failure. It is the old consciousness dissolving. When these thoughts arise, you can simply acknowledge them, bless them, and release them, affirming instead the truth of infinite abundance. By doing this repeatedly, you overwrite the old mental scripts and establish new ones rooted in prosperity and trust. This process is like clearing a clogged stream so that fresh water can flow. Each fearful thought released is a stone removed from the streambed of your mind, allowing the golden current of supply to flow more freely. Gratitude magnifies this alignment. When you give thanks for what you already have, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present. Gratitude is magnetic. It draws more of what you appreciate. Begin and end your day with thanks for the visible and invisible supply in your life. Give thanks for the opportunities unfolding, the ideas flowing, the people supporting you, and even for the challenges that stretch you into greater capacity. Gratitude opens your heart, and an open heart is a clear channel for divine supply to pour through. The more you thank, the more you receive, and the more you receive, the more you thank, creating a spiral of ever-increasing good. In this alignment, you begin to see money and material things differently. You no longer view them as scarce or difficult to obtain, but as natural expressions of the abundance of life. You see money as energy, circulating, flowing, returning. You bless every unit of currency that passes through your hands, knowing it multiplies and comes back enriched. You also realize that abundance is not limited to money, but includes time, health, ideas, love, and joy. As you expand your concept of supply, more areas of your life flourish. You may find more free time, better health, richer relationships, and deeper inner peace. All of these are forms of wealth created by aligning your consciousness with the infinite. As you persist in these practices, the world around you changes in ways that seem miraculous, but are actually the normal results of spiritual law. You notice synchronicities, chance meetings, and sudden inspirations. You find yourself guided to the right place at the right time. You feel a sense of being carried, of being supported by an unseen hand. This is the natural state of a mind aligned with divine supply. It is not luck but law. It is not coincidence but correspondence. Your outer world reflects your inner alignment. As above, so below. As within, so without. Ultimately, aligning your thoughts with divine supply is about trust. It is about trusting the unseen as much as you have trusted the seen. It is about placing your faith in the invisible substance behind all form. When you trust, you relax. When you relax, you open. When you open, you receive. This trust is built through repetition, through affirmations, through meditation, and through experience. Every time you see evidence of supply in your life, your trust grows stronger. Every time you choose a thought of abundance over a thought of lack, your alignment deepens. Over time, this trust becomes unshakable, and your life reflects it in ever-expanding. Good affirmations planted before sleep are among the most powerful tools for shaping the subconscious mind and manifesting wealth effortlessly, because in the moments between wakefulness and sleep, the conscious mind relaxes its grip, and the deeper layers of thought become receptive, like fertile soil waiting for seed. Each night as you drift into slumber, your mind shifts from the active beta state into the slower alpha and theta rhythms where suggestions and images bypass the critical gatekeeper and settle into the creative medium of your being. In this state, every word you whisper to yourself, every vision you hold, every feeling you cultivate is imprinted directly onto the subconscious, and the subconscious does not argue, debate, or question. It accepts and begins to work. This is why night is sacred. This is why the practice of nightly affirmation transforms ordinary lives into extraordinary demonstrations of abundance. You become the gardener of your own inner field, sowing wealth, ease, and overflow while the outer world sleeps. To understand the power of affirmations before sleep, one must first understand the nature of the subconscious mind. It is the builder, the silent servant, the infinite organizer of all experience. It receives instructions and carries them out in ways the conscious mind cannot comprehend. It works through intuition, circumstance, attraction, timing, and action. It orchestrates people, places, and events to mirror what it has accepted as true. When you go to bed with worries of lack, fear of bills, or memories of struggle, you are planting weeds in the garden of your subconscious, and it will obediently bring you more experiences that match those weeds. But when you go to bed with thoughts of plenty, of success, of divine wealth, you are planting a different crop entirely. The subconscious will take those seeds and grow them into opportunities, ideas, synchronicities, and inner shifts that produce visible prosperity in your waking life. The period before sleep is also the perfect time to suspend disbelief. During the day, your conscious mind is active, full of judgment and analysis, often doubting or negating the very affirmations you wish to install. But at night, as your body relaxes and your brain waves slow, the critical faculty softens, and you become suggestible to your own positive words. This is the moment to declare, I am abundant. I am a perfect channel for infinite supply. Money flows to me with ease. Opportunities find me at the right time. I am blessed beyond measure. When you repeat these words with feeling and imagination, you create living pictures inside your mind. These pictures are molds into which the spiritual substance of life flows. The stronger your emotion, the deeper the impression. The deeper the impression, the faster the manifestation. Visualization combined with affirmation magnifies the effect. As you lay in bed, picture yourself already living the reality you desire. See yourself checking a bank account overflowing with funds, receiving messages of good news, signing contracts, or enjoying a lifestyle of ease and freedom. Do not strain to see these images, simply allow them to arise gently as you drift towards sleep. Add sensory details, how it feels, smells, sounds, looks. The subconscious speaks in images and emotions more than words. By pairing affirmations with vivid mental scenes, you speak the language of the subconscious fluently. It then takes up the task of making these inner pictures real in the outer world. Repetition is the key to deep planting. A single night of affirmations may soothe you, but consistent nightly practice transforms you. Think of a farmer who does not plant one seed once but tends to his field daily. Each evening you return to the inner garden, reaffirming and watering your desires. Over time, the subconscious accepts these ideas as facts and organizes your behavior, your perception, and your magnetism to reflect them. You begin to notice opportunities you once overlooked. You attract new people and circumstances. You develop new habits and ideas effortlessly. It feels as if life is conspiring to prosper you. But in truth, you have been conspiring with life all along through the subconscious. Another vital element is emotional alignment. Before sleep, it is not enough to recite words mechanically. You must feel the truth of what you affirm. Even if at first you can only summon a small feeling of relief or hope, let that be your starting point. Over nights of practice, your feeling grows stronger, and your words become alive. Eventually, your nightly ritual becomes a sacred time, where you bathe your inner world in the vibration of plenty. This vibration carries into your dreams and your waking hours. You rise in the morning with a lighter heart, new ideas, and an expectant attitude, which then attracts matching experiences. Nightly affirmations thus create a cycle of thought, feeling, and manifestation that perpetuates itself. Cleansing the mind before sleep is equally important. Just as a gardener clears the field of stones before planting, you clear your mind of worry before affirming abundance. You can do this by breathing deeply, forgiving yourself and others, or writing out any concerns to release them. Then you fill the emptied space with truth. This allows your affirmations to penetrate more deeply, without interference from old fears. Over time, the very act of preparing for bed becomes a spiritual practice of clearing and sowing. The pillow becomes an altar, the bed becomes a temple. The night becomes your ally in wealth creation. Your subconscious mind works ceaselessly throughout the night, not only processing memories but also weaving your affirmations into the tapestry of your identity. It subtly alters your self-concept. If you consistently affirm, I am worthy of abundance, I am a magnet for wealth, I am guided to my highest good, then your subconscious begins to see you as that person, and will only allow behaviors, ideas, and experiences that fit that identity. It nudges you to take inspired action, to notice synchronicities, to act confidently, and to release situations that no longer serve your abundant self. This is the quiet power of affirmations before sleep. They transform you from within, so that external change is inevitable. Gratitude before sleep amplifies the effect of affirmations. By thanking the universe for blessings you have received and blessings on the way, you signal trust and expectation. This trust relaxes the mind even further and places you in the receptive state necessary for the subconscious to accept your words. You can silently list things you are grateful for, or simply feel a wave of appreciation for life itself. This energy blends with your affirmations and creates a magnetic field around you as you sleep. In the morning you wake feeling blessed, and that feeling sets the tone for your day, attracting more blessings to match it. Consistency also helps to override old limiting beliefs. If you have spent years thinking of lack, worry, or scarcity, it may take a period of nightly affirmations to fully rewrite the script. Be gentle with yourself during this process. Celebrate small signs of change. Notice subtle shifts in your mood, your thinking, your circumstances. These are signs the seeds are sprouting. With patience and faith, your new inner reality will harden into fact. Just as a seed takes time to become a tree, but the growth is inevitable once planted, your affirmations take time to blossom into full manifestation, but the outcome is certain once the subconscious accepts it. Affirmations before sleep also reconnect you with the universal source of all good. They remind you that abundance is not a product of effort alone, but of alignment. When you release striving and slip into the receptive state of drowsiness, you surrender control and allow the greater power to work through you. This surrender is not passivity, but cooperation with a larger order. In sleep, your conscious resistance melts away, and the deeper intelligence orchestrates your affairs. This is why so many people awaken with solutions to problems or sudden inspirations after a good night's rest. They have allowed the subconscious to work unhindered, and the results appear naturally. Through the practice of nightly affirmations, you become more aware of your creative power. You realize that each evening you are writing the script for your future day by day. You become deliberate about what thoughts you entertain before bed. You begin to treat your final waking moments as precious, knowing that whatever you feed your mind in those moments multiplies overnight. This deliberate practice separates those who drift through life from those who shape it consciously. By choosing your affirmations wisely, you plant a harvest of prosperity, freedom, and overflow that surprises even you with its richness. In the quiet of the night, your room may seem still, but unseen forces are moving. Ideas are gestating, connections forming, paths clearing. By aligning your nightly thoughts with abundance, you are giving these forces direction. You are like a captain setting the course of a ship, while the crew works below deck through the night. Come morning, the ship is closer to its destination. In this way, nightly affirmations are not idle wishes but steering mechanisms for your life. Each word is a compass point, each image a map, each feeling a wind in your sails guiding you to the shores of your desired experience. The subconscious is faithful. It does not fail to bring forth what you consistently impress upon it. Affirmations before sleep are therefore not a minor ritual, but a master key to transformation. They unite thought, feeling, and imagination at the very doorway between worlds, wakefulness and dreams. And from that doorway your new reality emerges. By choosing to plant wealth, ease, and divine overflow each night, you prepare the soil of your life for an abundant harvest, and you awaken day by day into the embodiment of the prosperity you've claimed. Releasing fear and forgiving past limitations clears channels for overflow, because fear and resentment act as invisible blockages in the flow of abundance, while forgiveness and release dissolve those blockages and restore natural lineages and ressoil of our natural circulation of good. Every belief of unworthiness, every memory of failure, every inner criticism is like a knot in a stream. The water of life still flows, but it eddies and pools instead of moving freely. When you choose to forgive yourself for past mistakes, and forgive others for perceived wrongs, you loosen these knots, and the current rushes forward. The divine source never withholds, but the human mind can hold itself apart through tension, guilt, anger, or shame. Letting go is not weakness. It is the strongest act of self-alignment. When you consciously release the past, you signal to the subconscious that you are ready to receive new good, and to inhabit a new identity. This clears mental space for fresh ideas and new opportunities to appear seemingly out of nowhere. Because you have made room for them, fear is one of the greatest obstacles to overflow, because it focuses your attention on what you do not want, and in doing so it multiplies the very conditions you fear. Fear contracts your energy field and makes you cling tightly to what you have instead of opening to what could be. Fear can disguise itself as caution or practicality, but underneath it is the belief that you are not supported by a higher order. To release fear, you must replace it with faith, not as blind optimism, but as deep knowing that there is a power greater than appearances, and that this power is on your side. Each time you affirm, "I am safe, I am provided for, I am guided," you loosen fear's grip. Each time you act from trust rather than panic, you strengthen your alignment with abundance. Slowly, fear loses its hold, and your inner channels open wider. This is a gradual but certain process that reshapes your nervous system, your expectations, and your magnetism. Forgiveness acts as a solvent that dissolves old pain. Resentment binds you to the very circumstances you want to escape. If you resent a person, a company, an institution, or even life itself for some perceived injustice, you remain energetically tied to that experience. Forgiveness cuts the cord. It does not condone harmful behavior, but it liberates you from the energy of it. This liberation is essential for overflow, because abundance thrives in an atmosphere of freedom, not entanglement. When you forgive, you reclaim the energy you invested in anger and redirect it toward creation. Forgiveness to others is powerful, but forgiveness of yourself is even more so, because self-blame can be a constant drain. By saying, "I release myself from the past. I accept my innocence. I am free now," you neutralize guilt and shame. Without guilt, your subconscious no longer feels you must be punished or deprived. Instead, it allows good to flow to you naturally. As you release fear and forgive limitations, you also change your self-concept. You begin to see yourself not as a victim of past circumstances, but as a creator in the present moment. This shift in identity is crucial, because abundance responds to who you believe you are. If you believe you are someone who always struggles, who always makes mistakes, who must pay for past errors, then your subconscious will orchestrate experiences to match that self-image. But if you forgive and release, your self-image evolves into someone worthy of wealth, capable of success, open to blessings. This new self-image then attracts experiences that confirm it. It is not a matter of convincing the universe, but of convincing yourself of who you are. The universe simply mirrors back what you have accepted within. Clearing the channels of overflow also involves releasing inherited beliefs. Many people carry unspoken family narratives about money, success, or worthiness. These beliefs may say, "Rich people are greedy," or "Money causes problems," or "We always struggle." These are limitations implanted without your consent, but held in your subconscious. By forgiving the past, including family, culture, and collective beliefs, you disentangle yourself from them. You can say, "I honor where I came from, but I am free to choose new beliefs. I release the patterns of scarcity inherited from my lineage. I forgive the past and open to infinite supply." This declaration signals a break with old patterns and invites a new flow. Another powerful technique for releasing fear and forgiving past limitations is to practice daily mental cleansing. Just as you bathe your body each day, bathe your mind in light. Visualize a gentle waterfall of golden or white light flowing through your mind and heart, washing away anxiety, resentment, and regret. As the light pours through you, it carries away all stagnant energy and leaves a clear channel. Combine this visualization with affirmations such as, "All fear is dissolved. All resentment is released. I am clean, clear, and receptive to divine abundance." Over time, this practice becomes a natural mental hygiene that keeps the channels of overflow open and unobstructed. Gratitude and love are the natural states that emerge once fear and resentment are gone. When your heart is free, you automatically radiate appreciation and goodwill. This radiation is magnetic. People respond to it. Opportunities appear. The environment mirrors your internal openness. You find yourself surrounded by supportive circumstances, because your inner state has shifted from contraction to expansion. This shift can happen gradually, or in a single moment of deep release, but either way it transforms the flow of your life. The same situations that once felt blocked begin to move. Ideas that once felt distant begin to arrive. It is as if the universe has been waiting for you to let go so it could rush in with its blessings. Releasing fear also increases your capacity to take inspired action. When you are free from the paralyzing grip of anxiety, you see possibilities clearly, and you feel confident to act on them. This does not mean reckless risk taking, but rather a calm willingness to follow inner guidance. This guidance may lead you to meet someone, to start a project, to invest, to learn a skill, or to let go of something that no longer serves you. Because you are no longer clogged by fear, your intuition becomes louder and clearer. Acting on this intuition often produces results that seem miraculous, because they are perfectly timed by the greater intelligence that orchestrates your life. This is one of the most tangible benefits of clearing fear. You become synchronized with opportunities. Forgiveness also alters your energy toward others, which in turn changes how others respond to you. When you hold resentment, your interactions carry tension and hidden hostility. This can repel help and cooperation. When you forgive, your energy softens. You communicate more openly. People sense your sincerity and are drawn to support you. Business partnerships improve, friendships deepen, new contacts emerge. This human network of goodwill often becomes a channel for abundance to flow through, bringing unexpected income or resources. Thus, forgiveness has both an inner and outer dimension. It heals your heart and simultaneously reshapes your social reality in ways that foster prosperity. You can also practice releasing fear and forgiving past limitations through writing. Before bed or upon waking, write down fears, regrets, and resentments. Then write affirmations of release and abundance. This simple act externalizes the inner clutter and creates a ritual of letting go. You may burn or tear up the papers to symbolize release. Over time, you see patterns dissolve and you feel lighter. This writing practice complements meditation and affirmation because it engages the conscious mind in the process of surrendering old stories. Another dimension to clearing channels for overflow is the role of the body. Fear and resentment are not only thoughts but stored sensations. They can live as tension in the shoulders, tightness in the chest, or knots in the stomach. Gentle breathing, stretching, or movement can help release them. When you consciously relax your body while affirming safety and abundance, you signal to the nervous system that it is safe to receive. This embodied safety multiplies the effect of your mental work because your entire being is now congruent with the vibration of overflow. As you continue releasing and forgiving, you begin to see past limitations as stepping stones rather than obstacles. You realize every challenge taught you something valuable. This perspective dissolves lingering bitterness and replaces it with wisdom. Wisdom is itself a form of wealth because it guides you to better decisions and helps you discern opportunities. When you see the past as a treasure chest of lessons, instead of a burden of mistakes, you reclaim your power from it. This reclamation creates confidence, and confidence attracts abundance. Finally, the act of releasing fear and forgiving past limitations strengthens your connection with the greater source of life. It places you in harmony with universal law. It aligns your will with divine will, which is always expansion, creativity, and abundance. As your inner resistance melts away, you feel more supported, more guided, more loved. This feeling is not imaginary. It is the direct experience of your true relationship to the infinite. From this state, overflow is natural, because nothing stands between you and your good. You become like a clear, open pipe through which the golden stream of supply can pour unhindered into your world. Every new thought of forgiveness and every new release of fear enlarges this pipe, allowing ever greater flows of ideas, opportunities, and resources to reach you. Changing your life from the inside out, visualizing abundance activates the spiritual law of prosperity. Because imagination is the workshop of creation, and every form that appears in the visible world is first conceived in the invisible realm of thought and image. When you engage your inner sight, you are not simply daydreaming. You are shaping the unseen substance of life into a definite pattern that must eventually express itself in form. The universe responds to the clarity and intensity of your inner pictures, because these pictures carry vibrational instructions for how energy should organize around you. Just as an architect draws blueprints before a building rises, you draw mental blueprints of your desired experience before it manifests in the material world. When you visualize abundance, you are providing a clear, detailed, and emotionally charged blueprint for prosperity to follow. This process begins with the decision to withdraw attention from appearances of lack and focus, instead on the reality of plenty. Appearances are temporary, but the unseen substance is eternal. When you visualize, you are reaching past the temporary into the eternal, calling forth the pattern of abundance that already exists in the mind of the infinite. You then hold that pattern steadily in your own mind until it condenses into visible experience. This is why visualization is more than idle wishing. It is spiritual alignment with what is already true at the higher level of reality. By sustaining your mental picture, despite appearances, you demonstrate faith. And faith is the activating force of spiritual law. Visualization also trains your subconscious mind to accept abundance as normal and natural. The subconscious does not differentiate between vivid imagination and physical reality. It simply responds to whatever is impressed upon it. By rehearsing scenes of prosperity in your inner theater, you condition your subconscious to treat wealth, success, and overflow as familiar. This internal familiarity then guides your thoughts, emotions, and actions toward experiences that match your mental movie. Without realizing it, you will gravitate toward opportunities, ideas, and people that reflect your visualization. This is not chance, but the natural operation of the law of attraction and correspondence, which states that like attracts like, and that the outer must reflect the inner. Emotion is the fuel of visualization. When you merely picture abundance in a detached way, the image remains weak. But when you infuse it with feeling, gratitude, excitement, relief, joy, you create a magnetic charge that draws matching conditions faster. Feeling is what transforms a flat image into a living mold of reality. As you visualize, imagine not only what you see but what you hear, touch, smell, and taste. Involve all your senses so your subconscious receives a full-bodied experience. The more real it feels, the more quickly your subconscious accepts it, and the more powerfully spiritual law moves to fulfill it. This is why athletes mentally rehearse their performances, and why successful people often speak of seeing their achievements long before they occurred. To visualize abundance effectively, create a mental sanctuary where you feel completely safe and free from distraction. In this inner space, picture your life as you desire it to be. See your bank account filled beyond measure, your relationships harmonious, your home beautiful, your work fulfilling, and your time free. Imagine yourself interacting with others from a place of generosity and confidence. Feel the satisfaction of bills easily paid, opportunities arriving, and blessings flowing. Allow your imagination to roam beyond your current circumstances without limitation. This exercise is not about figuring out how it will happen, but about accepting that it can and does happen on the inner plane, which is the true cause of the outer plane. Another aspect of visualization is consistency. Just as a seed must be watered regularly to sprout, your mental images must be repeated to take root. Brief, scattered thoughts of abundance may feel good but sustained. Disciplined visualization imprints the subconscious deeply. Practice daily, ideally at the same time, to establish a rhythm. The best times are upon waking and before sleep, when your brain waves are naturally slow and receptive. These windows allow your images to bypass conscious resistance and enter the creative strata of mind, where they can grow unhindered. Over time, your visualization becomes a living presence, as if you are stepping into another reality each time you close your eyes. This repeated immersion changes your vibration, and thus your experience. Visualization also dissolves limiting beliefs by replacing them with new internal evidence. If you have always seen yourself as struggling or undeserving, visualization offers you a safe space to experience the opposite. Each time you see yourself wealthy, capable, and free, you weaken the old self-image and strengthen the new. Eventually, the subconscious adopts the new identity and orchestrates your behavior to match it. You begin to make decisions and take actions that align with your mental movie. This alignment creates tangible results, which in turn reinforce your belief and create a self-sustaining cycle of manifestation. In this way, visualization not only attracts new experiences, but also transforms the self who is experiencing them. Visualizing abundance also aligns you with gratitude and expectancy, two powerful forces of prosperity. As you see yourself already possessing what you desire, you naturally feel thankful and confident. Gratitude opens the heart and removes resistance, while expectancy primes the mind to recognize opportunities. When you carry these feelings into your day, you move differently, speak differently, and attract different responses from the world. People sense your confidence and positivity, doors open more easily, and you are guided to take inspired action at the right moment. This synergy between inner image and outer action accelerates manifestation. Another subtle but profound effect of visualization is its ability to communicate with the deeper intelligence of the universe. The infinite speaks in symbols and archetypes. When you visualize with clarity, you are essentially praying in the language of the subconscious and the divine. You are saying, "This is the pattern I accept. This is the form through which my good may come." The universe then responds by arranging conditions that correspond to your inner symbol. This communication bypasses the limitations of words and taps into the universal creative principle that shapes galaxies and ecosystems. By consciously participating in this process, you become a co-creator rather than a passive observer of your life. Visualization is also a form of rehearsal for generosity. When you imagine yourself living in overflow, you can also picture how you will give, share, and uplift others. This expands your mental model of abundance from selfish gain to mutual benefit, which resonates more powerfully with spiritual law. Visualize yourself contributing, supporting causes, helping family, improving your community, funding dreams. As you do so, you feel the joy of giving and receiving as one continuous flow. This attitude removes fear of loss and anchors the belief that more always comes, which in turn keeps the channel of prosperity open. The more you mentally rehearse abundance as a shared blessing, the more life entrusts you with resources to distribute. It is also valuable to combine visualization with spoken affirmations. As you see your desired state internally, declare it outwardly. Say, "I see myself living in divine abundance. I welcome wealth and opportunities. I am a magnet for prosperity." The spoken word vibrates through your nervous system, reinforcing the inner picture. This dual approach, seeing and saying, anchors your desire in both hemispheres of the brain and both layers of consciousness. Over time, the repetition makes the new reality feel inevitable. When you reach that sense of inevitability, you have impressed the subconscious deeply enough that spiritual law moves swiftly to externalize it. Visualization of abundance not only creates future prosperity, but also alters your present experience. Even before physical results appear, you begin to feel calmer, more empowered, and more joyful. This inner shift often leads to spontaneous changes in your environment. People may treat you differently, new offers may appear, old problems may resolve. These changes are evidence that your vibration has shifted, and that the world is reflecting it. In this way, visualization provides both immediate emotional benefits and long-term material benefits. It allows you to live in the consciousness of abundance now rather than waiting for circumstances to change. When doubts arise, which they inevitably will, return to your mental image, see it again, feel it again, hold it gently without strain. Each time you return to the visualization, you are telling the universe, "This is my true state. This is what I choose." Doubt loses its power because your focus is steady. Just as a river carves a canyon through persistent flow, your repeated visualization carves a new path in the unseen substance of life, until the form must appear. Patience and persistence are key. You do not dig up the seed to see if it is growing, you water it and trust the process. The same is true for mental imagery. You water it with attention and feeling, you trust, and you let the law do its work. Visualization can be enhanced with symbols and physical anchors. You might create a vision board, write your desires in a journal, or place objects in your environment that represent your desired state. These anchors remind you throughout the day of your inner images and keep your vibration aligned. Each time you see the symbol, you briefly recall the feeling of abundance, reinforcing the neural pathway. Over weeks and months, this repeated cueing conditions your entire being to operate from the frequency of prosperity. This conditioning is what ultimately manifests as new reality, because the outer world mirrors your sustained inner state. As you practice visualizing abundance, you may notice intuitive nudges to take certain steps or make certain changes. Follow these gently. Visualization sets the stage, but inspired action completes the manifestation. The images you hold inside create a magnetic field that draws opportunities, but your willingness to act on them grounds them in the physical world. This dance between inner vision and outer action is the essence of spiritual prosperity. Each informs the other, and together they create the life you desire. Through persistent visualization, you develop mastery over your attention. Instead of being driven by appearances and reactive thoughts, you become proactive, deliberately choosing what to focus on. This mastery is itself a form of wealth, because it frees you from mental poverty and places you in the role of conscious creator. You realize that abundance is not something you chase, but something you allow by holding the vibration steadily until it must appear. This realization produces confidence, peace and joy even before the outer results, which in turn speeds their arrival. This is the hidden gift of visualization. It not only attracts abundance, but also transforms you into someone who naturally lives in the consciousness of abundance regardless of circumstances. Gratitude multiplies blessings and anchors divine wealth in daily life, because it shifts the entire focus of your mind from what is missing to what is already present. When you hold a feeling of thanks, you are acknowledging the presence of good. And the law of mind states that whatever you give attention to increases. By deliberately cultivating gratitude, you are tuning your consciousness to abundance, and as you do so, more abundance flows toward you. Gratitude acts like a spiritual magnet. It draws to itself experiences, opportunities, and resources that match the vibration of appreciation. This is why a grateful person seems to have a continuous stream of good things happening, because their inner atmosphere invites and nurtures those experiences. Gratitude also clears the channels of receiving. Fear, resentment, and self-pity close these channels, but appreciation opens them. When you thank life for what you already have, you soften your energy and become receptive to more. You stop demanding and start welcoming. This welcoming state signals to the subconscious mind and to the universe that you are ready and willing to receive, that you can be trusted with greater blessings because you honor and respect what is already in your care. Gratitude in this sense is a stewardship practice. It trains you to handle more wealth by valuing the wealth you currently possess, no matter how small it may appear. This habit creates a strong foundation for overflow, because the subconscious mind begins to link wealth with joy rather than stress or fear. When practiced consistently, gratitude transforms your perception of reality. What once looked like lack now appears as potential. What once felt like an obstacle now feels like an opportunity. This shift in perception alone can open doors to divine wealth, because opportunities often arrive disguised as problems. The person steeped in gratitude recognizes the seed of good within every situation, and therefore extracts benefit where others see only limitation. This perspective gives rise to innovative ideas, bold decisions, and inspired actions, all of which are channels through which prosperity flows. Thus, gratitude is not only a feeling, but also a lens through which you see the world and direct your creative energy. Gratitude also amplifies the effect of affirmations and visualizations. When you declare an affirmation with genuine appreciation, you send a stronger signal to your subconscious mind. The statement, "I am thankful for the wealth flowing to me," carries more power than "I will have wealth," because it assumes the wealth already exists and activates the feeling of having it now. The subconscious responds to present tense emotion, not future tense hope. This is why gratitude can accelerate manifestation. It bridges the gap between desire and fulfillment by embodying the fulfillment emotionally before it appears physically. When you feel grateful for something not yet visible, you are essentially rehearsing ownership, and the universe responds accordingly. Another dimension of gratitude is its ability to dissolve envy and competition. When you are sincerely thankful for your own blessings, you release the habit of comparing yourself to others. This frees up enormous mental and emotional energy that can then be directed toward creative expression and prosperity. You begin to celebrate the success of others, because their abundance no longer threatens you. Instead, it confirms that abundance is possible and present in the world. This shift from scarcity thinking to abundance thinking creates a collaborative and harmonious vibration, which naturally attracts supportive relationships, partnerships, and networks that can lead to greater wealth. Gratitude, therefore, builds not only internal peace, but also external prosperity through positive connections. Daily practice is the key to embedding gratitude into your subconscious mind. Simple rituals, such as writing down 3 things you appreciate every morning, or mentally listing your blessings before sleep, can rewire your brain over time. These practices may seem small, but they create cumulative power. Each moment of sincere appreciation imprints a neural and energetic pathway that makes gratitude your default state. When gratitude becomes automatic, you no longer have to force yourself to feel thankful. It arises naturally, and so does the flow of blessings. Over time, your whole life takes on the tone of appreciation, which is a powerful tone for the creation of wealth, because it is high, light, and magnetic. Gratitude also grounds spiritual concepts of abundance into daily action. Without gratitude, spiritual teachings about wealth can remain abstract. Gratitude brings them into the present moment, into the practical details of your life. For example, when you receive money, however small, you can pause and genuinely thank the source and the unseen supply behind it. When you eat a meal, you can bless the food and the hands that prepared it. When you pay a bill, you can feel gratitude for the service you received and for your ability to meet the expense. These small acknowledgments accumulate into a powerful current of appreciation that not only feels good but also aligns you with the ongoing circulation of divine supply. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is its ability to heal emotional wounds related to money and self-worth. Many people carry shame, guilt, or fear about finances based on past experiences or inherited beliefs. Gratitude can gently rewrite those emotional scripts by focusing attention on what is right and what is improving. Each moment of appreciation for your financial progress, however modest, sends a signal of safety to your nervous system and your subconscious mind. This sense of safety allows you to take more inspired risks, to be more generous, to think more expansively, all of which are necessary for wealth building. In this way, gratitude functions as both a healer and a catalyst for prosperity. Gratitude also has a multiplier effect because it encourages giving. When you feel truly grateful, you naturally want to share and give back. This act of giving, done joyfully and without fear, sets up a cycle of circulation. Just as blood must circulate to sustain life, wealth must circulate to sustain abundance. Gratitude-driven giving keeps the energy moving and prevents stagnation. When you give from gratitude, you are saying to the universe, I have more than enough. I trust the flow. I am a conduit for blessings. This attitude invites even more supply to flow through you, because life delights in expanding where it is welcomed and shared. Giving becomes an act of faith and an affirmation of abundance, reinforcing the very state you desire to maintain. It is also important to combine gratitude with visualization and prayer. As you see your desired future in your mind's eye, feel gratitude for it as though it is already here. As you pray for guidance, thank the divine for answering even before you see evidence. This combination of seeing, feeling, and thanking creates a powerful triangle of manifestation. Each element strengthens the other. Visualization gives form, gratitude gives feeling, and prayer gives surrender. Together they create a vibrational state that aligns you perfectly with the spiritual law of increase. In this state, you are no longer striving or begging, but receiving and celebrating, which is the most magnetic state for wealth, and overflow. Gratitude also refines your desires. As you thank life for your current blessings, you gain clarity about what truly matters to you. Some desires may fall away because you realize you already have enough, while others become more focused and inspired. This clarity prevents waste of energy on trivial pursuits and concentrates your creative power on the few goals that deeply resonate. Such focus is another form of wealth because it increases effectiveness and results. With gratitude guiding your desires, you are less likely to chase empty symbols and more likely to attract authentic abundance that enriches your life and the lives of others. Furthermore, gratitude lifts your emotional state, which has direct physiological and psychological benefits. When you feel thankful, your nervous system relaxes, your heart rhythm stabilizes, and your brain shifts into more coherent patterns. This state of coherence makes you more intuitive, creative, and resourceful. These qualities naturally lead to better decisions, more opportunities, and higher income potential. Thus, gratitude does not merely create a pleasant feeling. It optimizes your whole being for success and prosperity. It becomes a kind of inner technology for wealth, tuning your body and mind into a prosperous frequency where solutions appear effortlessly and doors open easily. Gratitude also deepens your connection with the unseen forces that support your life. By acknowledging the invisible supply behind every visible form, you enter into partnership with the divine. You recognize that every gift, whether material or intangible, is part of a greater circulation of good. This recognition dissolves loneliness and struggle, because you no longer feel isolated, you feel supported, guided, and provided for. This sense of partnership increases your confidence and reduces your anxiety about the future, freeing you to take bold, inspired steps toward your goals. In this way, gratitude builds a bridge between human effort and divine assistance, ensuring that your actions are backed by universal power. Finally, gratitude creates a self-reinforcing spiral of abundance. Each time you feel thankful, you attract more to be thankful for, which in turn deepens your gratitude. This spiral lifts you to higher and higher levels of prosperity and fulfillment. You begin to experience what some call miracles, unexpected windfalls, perfect timing, synchronicities, generous offers. Yet these are not random, they are the natural outcome of sustained appreciation. Your entire life starts to reflect the inner atmosphere of gratitude, becoming a mirror of the wealth and beauty you hold within. Over time, this state of thankfulness becomes who you are, and divine wealth becomes the natural expression of your being.